1F Pro versus INGT. This is a clan league match, and as soon as we can get this game up started, we will have everything ready to go for you. So again, just sit tight, and we'll get this up and running. So again, just sit tight, and we'll get this up. All right, y'all, we are loading into our first match on Boma. So something to know about this Knights Clan League is this is a non-ladder map league, basically. So we'll have some random-ass maps come at you. So spawning into the top left-hand corner is the teal Protoss pieces of Insight Game, or 1FAC, aka 1F Pro. That is what we'll be using. It is Muradon. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner of the red Protoss pieces from Insight Gaming is Sim. Yeah, this roster tonight was kind of thrown together at a very odd sort of timing. Hopefully we can have our fourth Masters player show up for Insight Gaming. Alrighty, we do see a probe heading out across the map on Boma for Muradon. Looks like he's trying to get an early scout in, or maybe going to be pretty freaking cheeky, but there is a gateway, so other than that, he will not be being too cheeky. Just an early scout. Sim also sending a probe out here. Both players looking at the scout. Very similar openings so far. Gas has started for both sides. And while we wait for the game to kind of unfold here, we would get into some details about this map. We do have Zolaga watchtowers by gold bases. And it's very easy to hide things around this map. It's such a weird looking map. But as a Terran and Zerg player, this is one map I would personally enjoy. Guys, any problems with the stream or audio, please let me know. I'll get it taken care of as soon as I can. So we see we have a little bit of a probe battle here going on. Our teal probe piece here of Muradin is getting chased down. He's going to have the shields back. So I'm just trying to make sure he can't come back in here and look around. And we're on the other side of the map. Another gateway going down. And we do have our Cybernex core on the way. So his Moshit core, both players pretty even right now as far as the build orders go. 2 gateway, 1 Cybernex core here. And on the other side, same exact thing. Just a little bit different in terms of layout. And so far, no expos right away. Still got a battle of the probes going on over here. Now Muradin is chasing Sim across the map. Where this got all swept around. There is a proxy going down here. It looks like it may be a proxy Stargate or a proxy gateway for that fast warp gate. As we wait to see exactly what goes on here, we do have a probe battle going on. Sim is going to take his probe and send it on back home. Pylon has finished up for Muradin. Wait to see what comes down. My guess, it will be a Stargate, my guess. There is a Stargate on the way for Sim. However, his Stargate is back home, and it will be scouted by Muradin. Muradin still has yet to throw down anything here. Waiting to see exactly what he will put down. We do have some Adepts heading out across the map. There are Stalkers here who will intercept these Adepts. Sim turning around and trying to deal with them. He's going to shade away and shade towards Muradin's base. He's going to lose 1 Adept. The other Adept should shade through. See the probe go down, so he will expect an expo. There are 2 Adepts and a Moshit core to answer this. On the other side of the map, we have a Twilight Council going down. Very interesting choice indeed. No Stargate, which means he's probably going for that Proxy Dark Shrine. You know, just to hide it somewhere on the map. Sim is taking that Pocket Expo on Boma. While we do have Muradin expanding forward and down the ramp. There are 2 Stalkers here trying to poke at this Moshit core to see if he can't shave off any probes anywhere. 1 Photon Overcharge has gone down. He's going to get to work on this pylon, and this is an Artosis pylon, which is powering everything. So he's pulling probes to deal with these Stalkers. He's lost 2 probes so far. There is a Moshit core and a Stalker here to deal with these. Trying to get this round on these Stalkers. He's just chasing them down with probes. He's going to lose 1 Stalker. Muradin won't lose anything. He actually gets out with 2 very red Stalkers here. Actually, he will lose 1 to this Moshit core. I'm pretty sure Sim just saw that. If you take a quick look at his vision. Yeah, he did see this here, so he has to assume something cheeky is on the way. While a Oracle is across the map. See if he reacts to this at all. There are 3 more probes that have gone down to 2 Adepts here. Photon Overcharge being used to shade away these Adepts. They will wind up picking them up. 7 probes gone down. So far, worker count is much further ahead for Muradin, and army supply is only up by 1. This Oracle is going to come in here and try and find some probes of its own. It gets 1. It's going to get 2. That may be it. But now, there is a Stalker here to push away this Oracle. There are 2 here. So yeah, he's only going to get 2 probes before he has to send this Oracle on home. He is just wasting energy on this Oracle with his beam activated. So. Meanwhile, on the other side, a Dark Shrine is going down with a Blink Stalker play here with it as well. Probably to catch the Oracle, or probably just a Blink Stalker all in with some DT Harass, a Warp Prism on the way, and it does look like he's going to go more Sky Toss base here. There are Phoenixes in play. There's no Observer on the map. Okay, now there's an Observer coming. He actually canceled that Warp Prism for that Observer, seeing that there is a Dark Shrine and a Twilight Council here. So on the way there are 3 gateways, and he is just going to wall off with some pylons to try and make sure nothing can get up here. But assuming he got an idea of what is here. Thanks for the follow, Serena. Thanks for the follow. Actually going to... Okay, so he's just going to have 1 pylon, or cancel 1 here. He's going to expo it again. Trying to play more economic focused, more macro based. However, this is looking very scary. Very scary indeed. Four Dark Templars have been warped in here. And he has thrown down an Expo. I'm not sure what all he's going to have to deal with this. He has an Oracle here. Is a Stalker. He has no Mothership Core, which is actually rather something that... Okay, he does have one. Where is it? Okay, it's in the back of his main. Gonna use these Phoenixes to try and pick them up more than likely. Yep, there you go. Thank you, Geo Gamer, for the follow. The Big Daddy Immortal is out to help push away these Dark Templar. Should clean this up very quick, but not before losing 4 more probes. Make that 5. He is going to take this Dark Templar out eventually. There we go. On the other side of the map, it is still 2 base versus 3. However, it looks like Muradin is going to get his up started a little bit sooner. Getting Zealot speed. It looks like he is going to have Blink and Speed with this. And some Dark Templar in the mix. Defensive Dark Templar, very nice. Again, he didn't take his Pocket Expo, which is something kind of interesting to see. On a map with a Pocket Expo, it's generally a lot safer to take. However, I wonder if you can actually blink, like... I should probably blink across that, actually. Used to be on Dust Towers, you could blink across that. Sim is going to come out here and try and unpower this Twilight Council before this Dark Templar finishes up. Which means he will be able to clean up this tech, Charge will not be finishing, and Dark Thrine will die. Immortal down here on the low ground, not getting much done. However, Bulma is moving out with a massive army here. Has a bit heavy-hitting army, actually. What does he got back home? He's got some Phoenixes, some Sentries to deal with it. He is going to get the tech for his trouble, but he might actually just end up losing these 4 Stalkers if he's not paying attention. So, Muradin going to march on in here. He's going to start cleaning all this up. He's already got 1 Stalker. He's going to blink forward to pick up 1 more. Sim, meanwhile, back home, warping in as much as he can. He's got his Zealots warping in. He's got a decent-sized army, but I imagine these Archons are going to chew through a lot of this. Guardian Shield and a Photon Overcharge being activated, and it looks like Muradin is just going to back up a bit. Wait for this to time out. I like what Sim is doing here. He's throwing down the Stasis Traps to try and zone out some of this army and make sure he can actually handle this fight. Muradin actually expanded to the low ground for his 3rd. I guess it kind of gives him more control of the low ground, but I feel he is safer to expand back. The Protoss, you know. Make sure you can have your economic... So, Stasis Trap being activated. This is not a very fun day for anybody to have to deal with. Mothership Core is going to get taken out, so this army is stuck here, but there are 2 Time Warps going down. The Guardian Shield being up, and this Big Daddy, these Immortals, are trying to work on what they can. 1 Immortal is getting focused on. Another massive warp in here at home for Sim. More Zealots being warped in. Second trap being activated, but I feel this is too little, too late to try and deal with this. Immortals have gone down, and that's going to be it, folks. Sim is taking the first loss for Insight Gaming, as he's going to have to pull everything back. He's going to lose this low ground. Not just yet, but again, he lost the economic lead here. In terms of base and being saturated, another massive warp in is coming across. GG is called. That is it for game 1, guys. Next player in for Insight Gaming is going to be Atomic Father, as long as he is here. Alright, so while we get set up for the next map, I'm going to mute the mic, and we will see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, we are back with game number 2 of this series. I do believe it's only all-kill series in the United League. So, Murden spawning into the top left corner of Interlooper by a -0. We have the teal Protoss pieces, once again, of Murdon from 1F Pro. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner, looking to get a point on the board for Insight Gaming, is the red Terran pieces of Atomic Father. And already we see a probe being sent out across the map. I think he's going to try and delay this barracks from going down. Always a very annoying thing to deal with when you're a Terran player trying to make sure nothing happens here. This SUV is going to be sent out to scout as well, as the probe will come up the ramp. Is going to come in here. Just look around by the looks of it. He's not going to try anything cheeky, but there is an SUV pulled off the line to deal with him. Other than that, nothing else really going on. He looks like he will try to expand, as these two are just going to chase each other down for a bit. On the other side of that, we will have a Nexus go down. It looks like we have a Gateway Nexus opening. Cybernex Core should be next. Okay, yep, Cybernex Core is on the way down now. So we do have a Reaper expand build going out from Atomic Father here. Not too many places for the Reaper to actually jump up by the looks of it. I'm not sure if he can get in back here. But he could definitely get in up here, and that's about it. Very few options for a Reaper to get up into the base of Murdon. Or Murden. Not sure which way to pronounce that. I guess I'm just going to go Murden. After the Warcraft Dwarf. Everyone knows, like Murden Bronzebeard. The SUV going to be shoot away once again. Atomic should see everything he needs to see. He's just going to send Steve here home to start mining again. While the Reaper is going to come on over and start poking away at this Protoss player, trying to deal as much as he can, while he can, with the Reaper on the map. Command Center is going down here for Atomic Father, about halfway done. He's going to send this Reaper on up here. Try to be annoying. Mothership Core does pop out to shoo this away. Not going to get the probe, and he's just going to have to be head on home for now, or head on off and come back another day. The map is actually rather interesting, and it looks like it's built the same tile set as Odyssey. Yeah, that's different. So this Reaper is actually going to scout around the map a little bit to make sure there is nothing proxy near his base anywhere. Don't want to get caught by that proxy Stargate, or, you know, same thing as last time, Twilight Council and Dark Shrine. Say no to Stem has shown up, which means we should have them as our 4th Masters. So not much else is going on. There is a Twilight Council and a Stargate coming down for our Steel Protoss player up here. It looks like he is going to start heading into that Adept Phoenix style play. Which is pretty much the bread and butter still of all Protoss players. Even with the shift a little bit in the way Adepts play out. Atomic is going to bring his Reaper back around the map, jump up in here, and try to see all he can see. Resonating Glaives is on the way, by the way. He will see everything, and a Photon Overcharge is activated, but he knows what he's up against now. At least he should. Warp Gate is actually not being chrono boosted, so he's going to come out a little bit later than normal. On the other side of the map, however, there are 2 factories going down. It looks like we are going to see a meching Terran player versus a Protoss. Not something we see every day. There are already 2 Cyclones being sent out across the map to take a look around and try to deal as much damage as they can, find whatever they can. There are only 2 Adepts out here to deal with this, but there is a Mothership Core with plenty of energy for a Photon Overcharge. We follow these Cyclones up and see exactly where they go. Double Forge being thrown down here to get his upgrades started. Armory is on the way down, and another command center for Atomic. 2 Hellions join the mix as they will push in here and pick off 1 Adept already. These Phoenixes and a Photon Overcharge here to push this away. Phoenixes aren't lifting up the Cyclones just yet. not really enough to kill them while dealing with the other one. The other Phoenix is out to help deal with this defense. Take a quick look at the other side. Command center all the way down, and we are seeing a 2 siege tanks in production. Widow mines are out for our meching Terran player here. Thomas here in chat. Not mech. I completely agree with you. Mech is not one of my preferred styles to see played, but hey, to each their own. As Atomic Father is going to be sent on home here. Going to go back, heal up these units, and he realizes he's not going to get much else done as the second pylon did finish. But he does know double upgrades are on the way, but as to what they are, he will not know. He will not know right away. But most Protoss players, as we know, should go armor and weapons first, because even though shields regenerate, it's really not a high priority to take early game. Widow mines are in place here with a siege tank for defense. We may be in for a long game at this rate. As the third base is being thrown down from Muradin. Both players just play that macro style, as we all know mech is macro based. But the Phoenixes in this composition are actually going to be very key in breaking this, because they can get on top, lift the tanks, Dubs can shade in on top of these tanks, and be ready to just, make the splash damage rain on them as well as the Terran army. Same with these Widow mines. As we all know, trader mines are a big thing that do happen. Nothing else really coming down that's all that crazy. There is Zealot legs coming out, so we will have charge. And Phoenixes are continuing to be produced. There is an Oracle in the mix here. I assume it's going to be either used for harass or to get that vision and keep tabs on this mech army. Which, as we know, mech armies really don't go very far to begin with. But he is sending it to the third base location of Atomic Father. As he will be able to... He's not going to pick up these SCVs. He's going to see his missile turrets here. Surprised he's not trying to pick them off right now. These SCVs are going to run on home. Revelation being thrown down, so he sees exactly what kind of army composition this is. He realizes it's not really going to go anywhere. 2 starports are on the way, 3 starports on the way, so it looks like we are going to start seeing more of that Sky Terran come into play. Not really much else going on around the map. This is a Depth Phoenix versus a meching Terran. As we all know, mech is always very annoying to push into. Dark side is just going where Atomic here is just going to turtle up as much as possible. And get that late game composition rolling so that he can deal with this Protoss army. I'm not really seeing too many crazy changes yet in terms of Protoss here, but we do have a fleet beacon on the way, as we will see the Sky Toss transition begin to happen. As both players are looking to that late game composition. Meanwhile, the other side of the map, a fusion core is on the way, which means we should see that Liberator range, or okay, we're going to see battlecruisers. A lot of battlecruisers very quickly. Now, there are 3 being produced at a time, as the carriers have started up on the other side of the map. That's nice. He's got the skin for his carriers. That's pretty cool. And being thrown down here to see exactly what is going on. He does know now that he is up against a Sky Toss. Is in production. There's a lot of gateways here, but not too much here to really do anything. Okay, 2 oracles are on the way across our map. See exactly what they can find out. Maybe get a couple SCV kills, or just to see where this army's at. 1 revelation being thrown down so far, another one being thrown down, so he knows exactly where the entire army of Atomic Father is. These missile turrets here, he will see exactly what deck is coming out for our Terran player. And now that he knows, there's really not much else here to take a look for. He just sees there's no 4th quite yet. Looks like Atomic is starting to float that 4th on over, and a 5th is on the way. So 9 minutes in, and not really a whole lot lost here. If we take a quick look at the resources lost. We only had 2 units killed and 1 worker killed, and that's in favor of Atomic right now. Scan being thrown down, he will see a 4th base, but other than that, again, there's just not much going on with this game so far. Not much really to commentate on. It's just very slow. Very long base game. Nobody really being too aggressive. There are Widow Mines being scattered around the map here. I'm surprised he didn't try to pick them off with the Oracle. He's actually just going to walk them in. Cannon here to push away this Widow Mine, while over here on the other side, this Widow Mine is not burrowing, and it will actually get killed by the probes. So he's going to lose 2 Widow Mines for his trouble and not really getting any return value. Not really slowing down the Protoss any. The Oracle is just going to take a smoke break up here in the corner. Let the mines wander into the Kala and see exactly what else we could find later on. Meanwhile, down here in the corner we do have our 4th base down, and we do have a planetary fortress here, which with Sky Toss this really isn't going to be too helpful. Except for maybe that ground army that is starting to come into play. We already have 3 carriers here, and a mothership is on the way now. He is going to be looking to push out with this. And Atomic needs to catch on to this, because if he does it, he's going to be up against that invisible army. He's going to have to focus down that mothership before he can really do any damage, or have the scans in the back pocket there just to make sure he can deal with it. 3 more starports in production actually, so he knows he's against that Sky Toss, which means he wants to transition into that mass battlecruiser by the looks of it for the Sky Terran. I wonder what he's going to throw down on these for attachments actually. Blake about to finish up. And as we will see, Atomic start to make the first move across the map with his mech army. On the other side of the map, carriers are moving out as well. And they are just going to kind of walk right into each other here. Atomic needs to burrow these mines, get them down or something. As a lot of them are going to get picked up. Widow Mines are going to go off and kill off some interceptors here. He's not sieging up the tanks. These tanks aren't really going to get any value out of this fight. And he is just going to have to go on home here to rethink his strategy a bit. As these carriers will actually just tear apart this Terran army right now, because this is, at this point in time, this is mass carriers, folks. This is the critical amount of carriers you need to basically kill off somebody in general. But with no Vikings in play here, and he's just building battlecruisers, I kind of feel Atomic is going to be in a tight situation as this fight will begin. Pull his camera back here. This orbital command center is going to get picked off, and before it lands, Widow Mines going off, killing off a lot of interceptors here. Battlecruisers are going to fire into these carriers, going to pick off 1 so far, and that is going to be about it. As these carriers are just going to start walking in here and not really being able to kill off these interceptors fast enough. Second carrier is going to fall. That's going to be about it. He's actually using that teleport, his jump to get across the map. Looks like he actually jumped it across the map. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can. There are stalkers away here to push this away. Burning Command Center as it flies up into the corner will die. There's no way to repair that in time. Looks like Protoss is going to have to back off here, as there may be a little bit too many Widow Mines in play. These battlecruisers aren't getting much more done. They're trying to find whatever they can. Their translate jump is down right now. He's going to lose 1 battlecruiser to all these stalkers. Picking off 1 or 2 stalkers here. Not really going to make these battlecruisers worth their time. As these Widow Mines are going to try and burrow up underneath this Protoss army, Widow Mines are going to go off, not getting too many hits that are going to do too much damage here. He is going to get 1 carrier with those Widow Mines, oh my gosh. And he's just continuing to build battlecruisers. I feel if he would have just gone into Vikings at this point, he could knock this army down and be able to clean it up very easily indeed. Stalker's on the ground here. He does have a few tanks left in order to deal with this. Widow Mines are being rallied back home from across the map. Gonna walk them in here, burrow them. These stalkers are not going to get picked off. He's going to get the oracles instead. Looks like he is trying to use his Yamato cannon on these stalkers, but they're just going to blink right up underneath, eat some more Widow Mines. And this push is just going to keep going. And as there are only 6 battlecruisers and it looks like 2 Widow Mines remaining for our Terran player, as these tanks are going to get picked off. This turret trying to do what it can to deal with these interceptors. As Atomic is probably just trying to figure out what he could do from here. There's not any really direct air damage he can get out here that deals damage fast enough. Like the Vikings aren't here. His army is clumped, so Liberators would do a wonder here. And he's just building Widow Mines out of these factories. There's no Thors or anything like that on the way. To try and help deal with this. His interceptors will just be reproduced. A little no cost. Stalker blinking out of that Widow Mine before it gets taken out. These Widow Mines are going to go off on the interceptors, which actually is very useful, but 19 SCVs have died here, and the economic advantage for Atomic Follower is going to be slipping away very quickly, as well as his army supply. If he can get rid of this mothership, that'd make this a lot easier on him. He can't really deal with any of this. He just needs to, like, Yamato cannon that mothership. If we do have one coming out here, it is finally going to get taken out. As Void Rays are coming in, the carriers and stalkers are going to start getting picked off by these. SCVs have been pulled off to repair this battlecruiser army. As 2 more battlecruisers will be popping out here. Looks like he did get another carrier or a Void Ray for his trouble. Units killed because of all the interceptors and Widowmine hits. Heavily in favor of Atomic. However, as we know, Terran players do have the advantage of, you know, getting more out of their army than they General Protoss do. Because as Protoss takes damage, that army will start to weaken over time as his shields will deplete. We look like he's going to pick off these rocks here and start to head down south and try to swing around and take out maybe this 3rd here or his 4th down here. There are actually Hellions in the mix here to try and deal with these stalkers. Widowmine's not getting barrowed right away, so not getting any return value out of them just yet. These battlecruisers are posturing, trying to get as much as they can here. Switch over to units. There are 12 battlecruisers on the map. As this planetary fortress is going to get repaired, these Widowmines will barrel and they're laying fire all down across these stalkers. Looks like the battlecruisers are getting good hits from the Yamato cannons to clean this up. But are there too many... Yep. Alright, so Protoss is going to have to start to back off here as he's going to start to lose Void Rays. He never had a recall. There's no mothership on the way. There's no mothership on the way. So he lost his mothership core and has yet to rebuild it. And it looks like Atomic is finally just going to move out across the map. Taking a look at the army left, we only have 13 Stalkers and 3 Void Rays left for Protoss. A Widowmine going to go off and take out another Stalker. As he's just going to move in here with these battlecruisers. Upgrade life right now, actually. He's only on +2 armor, by the way, for his battlecruisers. But I think there's just enough of them here to clean this up. Widowmine is being pulled forward, going to get barrowed. They start to micro them away as they will go off and get some pretty decent hits there. This army is going to start to get cleaned up. That might actually be it for Toss. I mean, he can warp in a lot of Stalkers here to deal with this. But Toss is starting to feel the heat, so to speak, as he's going to have to try and clean up these battlecruisers one way or the other. There is no +1 on the way, actually, for Atomic. So these are going to get the Nexus here, and he's just going to jump on home. Widowmines have burrowed. There's actually no observers with this army. He's trying to get the probes here. Blink forward to save those Stalkers from that hit. Widowmine burrows and actually gets 8 probes. Very nice connection there on that Widowmine. He's just going to barrow these mines and try and get even more hits on these probes. 19 have gone down to this one battlecruiser that actually is going to jump straight into the main here. Oh, he just Yamato cannon into the pylon, and he got this army down very quickly here. He's actually just letting it focus on whatever it needs to. As more Widowmines are being produced, where's the rest of his battlecruisers? 5 more are on the way, actually. So Atomic actually getting damage done here and getting the economic and worker army supply back in his favor. As it's 50 to 54 in workers, but army supply heavily in favor of Atomic at 92, now 90. These Widowmines are going to burrow. There is a cannon here to try and make sure this Widowmine can't get too much more done. It will finish before this Widowmine is ready to fire, so we're just going to move on out of here as we do see 6 more Widowmines are going to make their way to this mineral line. They're going to burrow. Let's see what kind of connections you get. One connection goes off, as 15 more probes are going to get taken out here by this Widowmine harass. The Atomic is really just starting to peel this Protoss apart, as these Stalkers are going to come over here and try and catch these Widowmines out on the map. So Planetary Fortress is being warped in here with a few more missile turrets. Deal with this. He's scanning to try and find that army. He does see it up here in the top right corner. It looks like it is looking for an Expo that is not here. As the Protoss army is going to move down towards the south here and move towards this planetary. Battlecruiser's in position here. He's going to blink out, blink away from that Widowmine, so it will not get a connection. It will just go off and splash on nothing. As these Hellions are here to try and do as much damage as they can to these Stalkers. No blink away, but he does get the Void Rays. which actually is going to help a lot more against this army as the Prism is not being activated. They will be able to clean up these Stalkers, and I wonder if this is actually going to be close, if not it. As we take a look at Protoss real quick. GG, well played is called, yes. Because as we take a look at Protoss real quick, there's not too many workers left on the map. The economic advantage has slipped away. Alright guys, as we wait for our next player to be lined up, I will mute the mic and I will catch you guys in a bit. Just a quick heads up, guys. We are having trouble with the party system for some reason. It keeps wanting to kick everybody out of the party after each match. So hopefully we can get this resolved. And we'll be on our way. This is actually a bit of an unfortunate change. It seems we're going to jump straight into their What If Pros Masters players. Which I'm guessing that means they're going to have to play somebody twice here if they lose. So, spawning into the top right-hand corner of Carnivore is the yellow Zerg pieces of What If Pro. It is Macintac. It's spawning into the bottom right-hand corner. Top, bottom? Well, okay, sorry about that. But bottom right-hand corner is the purple Terra pieces of Atomic Father, tying the series up 1-1 with his outstanding mech play from the previous game. The Carnivore is a really interesting looking map. It looks like a pretty normal map, actually, in terms of what we see on ladder. You take a look around the map a little bit here. Looks like we got some weird alien-like creatures flying around on a broken up planet or asteroid field, it looks like. We got some kind of like Nexus storm or something like that going on, or dust storm. So yeah, I'm a little curious as to why they don't have a diamond player, but anyway. As you take a look around here, we just have a hatch first before pool by the looks of it, so it's going to be hatch gas pool for our Zerg player here. This is actually a very interesting map indeed. There's not too many ways for Reapers to get in, so a Reaper Scout might not be the best interest for our lovely Terran player here. So he is going to SCV Scout here. He's good to see a hatchery. We'll just follow this SCV around a minute. See what all he can see. He's going to see nothing but a spawning pool with some gas and the likes. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we will have a Reaper expand for our Terran player here. I'm kind of in the middle of... Oh. I'm going to follow Flood for the moment. I guess send a quick link so he can watch ours. Alright, let's get off the screen. We will have 2 queens on the way and metabolic boost. On the other side of the map, we do have a factory going down, as the command center is going down as well. This refinery place is actually really weird here. Somebody actually pretty much abused tank positioning down here on this low cliff, actually. As the overlords are going to make their way up, he will park this one on top of the ramp and send this one into the back of the base to take a look around our lovely Terran player's base here. See exactly what he can see. He is not going to do that. Actually, he's going to get the Reaper out. Where's the Reaper? Reaper is over here trying to poke down these lings for HP, and he is going to heal up with the 2 Hellions on the way. There is a starport on the way as well. It looks like he is going to go into that Hellion Banshee play against Zerg. What if that means he's going to transition to more mech, or if he's going to focus that bio play this time around? Because either way, this could go either way still. He's just trying to find as much early game damage as he can. Reaper just kind of hanging out here, just chilling, taking a smoke break, not really getting much done, as a 3rd hatchery is on the way from Macintac. We can go throw down this tumor, try and get that creep spread started up. I wonder if Mac actually knows what he's against here, because he is throwing down 2 Evo chambers. And I don't think there's a Roach Warren on the map. No Roach Warren just yet. This 4 lings are going to make their way across the map. Scout out and see what they can find. There's +1 melee and +1 armor is on the way, so we will be seeing that Ling Bling Buta play. There are Hellions out on the map, and we are going to see that mech play coming out again. There's already an armory going down here. As these Hellions are going to make their way across the map to try and find as much damage as they possibly can. There are 4 Marines and a Reaper loaded up in this medevac to join in on this push. 5 Queens here to push us away as the Hellbats are out. They're going to march right up on in here and start trying to find what they can. Medevac actually not coming with, so he's just going to try and trap these Queens and kill off as many as they can. These Hellbats are doing a lot of damage to these Queens. Train fuses are going down to keep them alive, however, as drones are getting pulled off. 2 SCVs have died on the other side of the map. As he is just going to trap the queens here in the corner. He's going to finally get to work on these drones as 5 drones have gone down, 7 drones have gone down. The Lings are getting to surround, and this push is going to get cleaned up. The economic damage being done, but was it enough for Atomic Father, who is still down by 5 workers, and the army supply is in favor of Macintac right now? As we will see, Zerg just built 14 more drones up. The Baneling Nest is on the way, and Lair is on the way as well. Vicky is just going to head on out across this map. This Banshee looks like he only got 1 kill so far. As 2 Spore Crawlers are going down, so he will be able to deal with this. Aliens here aren't getting much done. They're going to finally line up here and pull these Lings away from that supply depot. And close the door as they are trying to slip by. Looks like they will finally eventually get in. And as we were questioning earlier, Atomic Father is going into more of that bio play, as we do see 3 barracks being finished up. Vicky is going to start a drilling claws, maybe, for his Widow Mines. Or maybe he's going to go more tank pressure. He did evacuate the natural, trying to keep as many of these SCVs alive as he can, as 2 are going to go down here. Banshee being rallied across the map, not really paying attention. He's going to finally turn around and come back here and clean up these Lings. As the Marine production is slowly getting started. He's just not starting stem. This is a 6-minute stem because of the opening. It is going to be a little late. Okay, thanks for the heads up, big guys. They forfeited the diamond. I'm going to go ahead and update this to 2-1 then. It has been kind of a busy night for both sides. In sight, we have had problems pulling people. Like yelling at people earlier, trying to get them in here. But anyway, Atomic Father is the current player, as he is sending these 2 Banshees out across the map to try and find what he can. See what damage he can get done. There are Queens in place here to push these away. There is an Overseer, so the Cloak isn't going to do much. I'm going to Cloak one of them either way, because it does have the energy. Why not Cloak? Even though it will still be able to be seen by this Overseer. He does scan to see there is a 4th base down for, or coming down for our Zerg player here. He's still, okay, alright, so he called down the Mulehammer here. And just went for it. So all around, I think that's how you pronounce that name. Thanks for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Banshee is going to be sent on home here. This Overlord being pushed away. Say, hey, get off my lawn, or float off my lawn, as you say. 3rd base is being taken for a Terran player, but base count is still in favor of Zerg either way, as the 4th hatch is about to finish up. We do have the Infestation Pit and +2 on the way, as well as +1 air. Are you going to Corruptors or are you going Mutas? Let's see. There's nothing on the map just yet, so I imagine he might actually go Muta because of the tanks. Centrifugal hooks are being picked up for the Baneling speed. Infestation Pit is done, which means we should see the Hive start up any second now. 9 Mutas are in production here. Some Zerglings making their way into the 3rd base of Atomic Father here. Going to pick up a couple SCVs for their trouble. 3 SCVs. These Lings are just going to die, so he's throwing them away to get some economic harass done. Army count is actually in favor of Atomic right now. The worker count, however, is still in favor of our Zerg player, Macintac. As the Mutas are out, going to join up with the Zerglings here. 8 Banelings are on the way. Take a quick look at the resources lost. Team is killed. Slightly in favor of our Terran player. Actually, even on worker count. Banelings are morphed, and we're just going to wait and see what happens here. It looks like there's no tank siege. Marines are being sent out here to scout around and find out exactly where the army is at. Zerglings are going to make their way in from the south towards this 3rd base, while Mutas are up here around the top. On the north side, these Marines are going to stem right up underneath these Mutas and pick up quite a few of them for their trouble. Only 3 Mutas left on the map. 4 total, as 6 more Mutas will be produced. The Hive is on the way. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom, the Zerglings making their way into the 3rd base of Atomic once again. I'm surprised he just haven't sieged his tanks up to keep them back. I mean, it's kind of what I feel he needs to do with those tanks. He's not really getting any other use out of them at present time. Thor is out to help deal with the mutas. As we know, it did get a buff to its anti-air. Marine going to send forward on the creep here. You see there's 4 queens and an overseer here. Going to throw down the scan, trying to find where the army's at, as he is going to push forward on the creep. Hit up these creep turbers, shave off a queen or 2. Banshee's just going to get picked off there. He is cleaning up a lot of creep. This tank has not yet sieged up. One was actually in the medevac. The tanks are going to siege up, but not before everything just gets cleaned up by the banelings. He's going to pick this Thor up and try to get it out of here. He's going to have to drop it again or lose it. Either way, he's going to lose it. Marines rallying across the map as the last of this Terran army is just going to get cleaned up here for Atomic Father. Leaving him with all of, like, 7 Marines here and a Marauder. As these mutalists are just going to fly in here, there is a Thor here to push away the mutas. Thor needs to be picked up before it gets surrounded. Looks like he's alright for now, however. Medevac does get picked off as the Banelings are just going to roll right into that Thor and just splash all over it and take it out. It looks like Atomic will be tapping out of here any minute now, as he does losing SCVs now. There he's down to 6, 7, 8 gone. And the count is still rising at 14. Not going to be able to close this door as there are Marines coming out, but it might be too little too late as 27 workers are going to go down. 2 more Thors have popped out with a couple Liberators to help deal with these mutas. Going to actually have to lift his natural, which is just going to burn down. And at any point in time here, he might actually just tap. These Liberators are actually cleaning up these mutas like they're candy. But taking a look at the damage done, Atomic is on his last legs at this point, as the FPG is called. Alright guys, I actually need a drink real quick while we get this party situation sorted back out here. I do. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a quick break and step away for a second. I will be right back. Alright guys, we're just waiting on the next map to be picked. Looks like it has been decided upon, so as soon as we get this set up, we will be back in and get you guys some more action going on here. We are at the Masters players at this point. Series is tied 2-2 now, as we will be getting ready to start up the next game. Be with you is Alright guys, we are loading in on SMA KTV Mojo Gardens. Next map. Probably one of the more normal looking maps in the map pool for this lovely little team league we got going on here, Clan League. But anyway, spawning into the top right hand corner. Trying to keep this series alive and keep Insight Gaming ahead. Zerg Pieces. Still a fox. I mean, was he anything else but a fox? Anyway, down at the bottom left hand corner. In the ZVZ matchup with the blue Zerg Pieces, currently off in one game so far, is McIntack from 1F Pro. So yes, this map is a very normal looking map actually for some of the map pool, in terms of what players are probably used to playing on from the ladder maps currently in the season. We do have a drone making its way across the map. Looks like he will be trying to block that hatchery from going down, as we will see a drone feeding on another drone, as we always have to wonder, what does the drone say? He will get the drone for his troubles. Let's send the other drone on, and the drone here on the way back. Start mining yet again. Hatchery has gone down, so both players opening up very similar in the ZVZ, as we know ZVZ can be a very crazy matchup to watch, as it will just be hatch gas pool for both sides. Not much else going on, so I'm just going to kind of look around the map real quick here, actually, because just to see how this map looks and overall. Kind of get an idea of how it looks, different things. It's a pretty cool waterfall, actually. If both players still just going with that hatch gas pull. The very standard openings for Zerg players. Not much else around the map that really catch your attention. It is literally just a garden of pink trees and waterfalls. Well, he is a Zerg, so I guess he would be the slimiest fox ever. He's a creep fox. What do you expect? The hatcheries have finished up. Overlords are making their way across the map to take a look around, being sent to very similar places, all things considered. A couple of scouting leagues being sent across the map here to take a look around and see if they can't get up there, maybe pick themselves up a drone for their travel across this giant garden. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 2 links also being sent out. Next speed is going to finish up about the same time, as Baneling Nest is ahead for Still a Fox. Kind of hard to tell right now if that's a defensive Baneling Nest or more offensive, as 2 lings are going to make their way in here and try to get a drone. Looks like he's just scouting around actually. Queen's just going to push him away. He's going to see everything is very similar, very identical, as a third hatchery is going down for both players. Dual Fox might actually have to cancel this hatchery because there's nothing here to defend us. While on the other side of the map there is a hatchery down, not being really pressured at all. I think he will cancel this hatchery. Maybe. Okay, he finally cancels it. Trying to keep this drone alive and run around in circles so these lings can get some damage done. Speed is done for both players, as the third base will actually finish up for McIntack. Meanwhile, 8 lings are in production here for Still a Fox. As he's going to send it down the south part of the map towards his third base. He does have a few lings up top, but really right here is where we're at. These lings are going to get picked off for Mac Attack as he is going to push on in. Baneling's being morphed in. Is going to get to work on Mac Attack's third base as well. He has restarted that third base, by the way, up there in the top corner. Banelings are going to finish up, and the Baneling micro will begin. As we will see exactly who's going to get the best Baneling connection. Right, he's not actually going to detonate on... There we go, I was going to say, he's not going to detonate on the Baneling's morphing. These Banelings here are actually here to zone this out. Not the greatest connection on there. Zerglings need to bait these into the Banelings to try and get the best connections. He's morphing a few more in. Silverfox is going to pick these up. Try and get them picked up before they get... Okay, they are getting canceled and killed off. Not knowing the best connections as of yet. He does get the third base, however, which is actually not a cancel. Baneling... Okay, the Broodlings did not kill it off. He's going to try and detonate this Baneling on a Baneling. Not the best to take there for still a Fox after picking up the third. There's more lings on the map than what he has. 10 more lings on the way, however, and 12 more are in production for Mac Attack. As the battle does continue, it is going to go all the way back towards the natural of still a Fox, and 3 more Banelings are being morphed in here for defense. Drone here, not really droning. Kind of droning off into space. Anyway, Zerglings are going to swing around to the other side here and see if they can't pick up the third base that he should know is down. As meanwhile, on the other side, both players just running right past each other. So he is F2ing back these Zerglings to try and clean this up. Banelings are rolling down here, but these connections are going to have to be like huge for still a Fox. Does pick up quite a few with that one. There are 3 more Banelings here, however, to push these away. One Zergling ball is chasing the other. As this is where ZVZ is at. Roach Ward is starting up, however, for Mac Attack. It is about to finish up. This is stage 2 in the ZVZ matchup when you start to morph in the Roaches that have not yet started up for still a Fox. He is trying to get a cancel on this third base yet again. Banelings here are going to roll down here and try and shoot this away. 2 Banelings trading off for 2 Banelings apiece. He does get a cancel on that third. These Banelings are going to roll in here, and 2 Banelings so far being traded out. A second Baneling going down, trying to clean these up, and the Banelings are just slowly dropping off for both players. No Banelings left, as 3 Roaches are on the map, however. So economically, I like still a Fox's position. Mac Attack is supply capped here. He's going to try and jump on top of these Roaches and shave them off as more Lings are being ran into the base. Queen tucked into here to try and not let these Lings get a surround as these Roaches are the same, also getting tucked in. However, he is actually getting a lot more done here. Ravager being morphed in there to save that Roach. Mac Attack actually attacking his hatchery. Like, I don't like this hatchery. Okay, picked up on it. As more Lings are being rallied across the map, there are 4 more Banelings in the mix. And it looks like still a Fox has yet to throw down a Roach Warden, so he really has to get damage done here to make sure this game ends. Otherwise, this won't... Alright, Queen is getting picked off. Ravager, not so much. Lings are making their way into the main mineral line, however, of Mac Attack. As he's going to pick up this Queen. Queen stays alive. So he needs to get damage done with his next push. There are way too many Roaches. That Roach stack is starting to... A Roach ball is starting to get bigger and bigger, slowly but surely. While he's droning up back home, he does have a Roach Warren finally on the way. However, there are 22 Lings coming out with this Roach push coming across the map. Looks like he is going to evacuate that third base. He's going to pull this Queen back up here. Getting Queen's in position here to make sure he can deal with this. Roaches are going to come in here and knock this third base down. There's no third base for Mac Attack behind this, as the Lings on the south side here are getting chased by the pack of Lings for Mac Attack. Still a Fox, there's no way Still a Fox can save this hatchery at this point. This hatchery will die. Unfortunately, there is a Roach going to pop out on the wrong side of this, or he is going to die before it even hatches. There are only 3 Roaches, 1 Roach in production. Looking at the unit count for both sides, actually, the Roach count is in favor of Mac Attack. However, the one thing Still Fox has going for him at this time now is Defender's Advantage, which means he can reinforce faster to clean this up. A lot of Banelings are going to wall their way on up here and try and find whatever damage they can in. As this might actually be it for Still Fox. There's just way too much here now for Back Attack, as he's going to active back his natural and GG is called. Alright guys, we will get the next match set up as soon as we can here. I'm in a party with. Okay, I'm in the party with Back Attack. And she is the next player to go up against our fourth and final player from Insight Gaming. While we wait for this game to get set up, I will go to the FK. Alright guys, we are loading into, I do believe, the final match of the night in this league match. It will be Mac Attack versus Thano to Stim. Stim, as you know, has had a bit of a history as a player. We've seen him play before in past clan matches and so forth and so on. And spawning into the top right-hand corner, of Vandor Temple is the yellow Protoss pieces of Say No to Stim. The GLHF is spawning into the bottom left-hand corner of Vandor Temple is the Zerg, pink Zerg pieces of Mac Attack. That's not. Anyway, this will be a ZVP, the first ZVP of the night. Hopefully this isn't the last match right away, but we will see exactly how this goes. Hello Idra, welcome to the game. Welcome to the stream. Clan War versus next game. So as we just take a look around here, we will see Hatchery going down first before Mac Attack. Then in the top right hand corner, we will see Stim starting to wall off that main. Throwing down that pylon, throwing down that gateway. Very standard opening looking for Protoss. Unfortunately, he didn't throw it around his Nexus, so it's a little bit different. You know, a lot of Protoss players have got to where they throw down that pylon and like TVP. Or a TVP. Wow, man, it's been a long day. TVP and PvP around the Nexus just so they can wall that off. Or have that pylon there to help defend that mineral line. Meanwhile, Nexus is going down here for our yellow Protoss player. Mac Attack not being able to deny that. He does see it go down, however. Drone is going to come on up in here and take a look around and see exactly what he can see. He tried to block the Cybernetics core from going down, but he just barely missed it. Excuse the squeaky chair, please. Alright, so anyway. He's going up here. He is going to get the gas steel. He's going to leave that there for a little while. We do have a probe down here taking a look around, see what all he can see as he would see the hatchery. See hatch gas pool. You should know what he is up against at this point. Pretty standard opening for Zerg. That's pretty much all that's going on. Overlord going to float on in here. See the Cybernetics core finish up. Pretty much all there is. The Vandor Temple already a very interesting looking map. Clearly a Protoss themed map. As we do see a lot of Protoss like ruins around the map. Rocks here. Make it easy to wall off. However, they can be killed. We can open it back up and get around. Very easy third to take, actually. But both ways. You can go two different ways here to take that third base. Mothership Core is, and Zalt here, is going to get to work on this gas geyser. Get this extractor out of the way. Two probes here. One probe is going to fall. The second one might fall before his Mothership Core cleans them up. Our Say No to Stim is still ahead in worker count by 2. Stalker here to help clean this up, and the Robo facility is going down. We aren't going to see too much Sky Toss just yet. That might change further down the line, as we know Protoss can very easily change their tech. He is going to throw down 2 gateways here to help wall off this ramp and make it harder for these Zerglings. They're going to have to run all the way around, making the Photon Overcharge here work a lot better in terms of zoning these out. He will not use. He's just going to use the Mothership Core here to shoo these away. Overlord is being positioned around a map to make sure nothing can get out of Protoss base without being seen. And the third hatchery is being taken for Mac Attack, so he is trying to play more of a macro-based game to stay ahead in base count. The Zerglings are being rallied across the map. We do have a Drop Lord coming in here. I think he is going to lift these Zerglings up right into the back of the Protoss base here. Stim does not see this, actually. So, Stim is not going to be able to see that just yet. There are a lot of Zerglings being rallied to the front for Say No to Stim's natural here. Drop is going to float on in here, and he still will not see it. He thinks his aggression is coming from the front. However, on the other side, Zerglings have been unloaded. It looks like they will be heading straight into that mineral line. Oh, Say No to Stim in his main. Probes being pulled here to help fight this off. Sentry help trying to zone these out and get as much as they can. Photon Overcharge being thrown down. This push will get cleaned up as there are Zerglings in the main mineral line. 3 probes are going down. A 4th and a 5th will fall. There's actually 6 so far that have gone down. This Artosis pylon powering these 2 gateways will be unpowered here. I need to back this out. There we go. The Stim using the Mothership Core to try and clean up these Zerglings in the corner. Meanwhile, there's still 8 Zerglings in his base. Stim, you need to clean these up sooner or later, man. 2 pylons being thrown down here to keep these things powered. There's actually an artillery pylon right here powering the front as well. As 11 more probes have fallen, Stem might actually be in a pretty big trouble here as he is kind of getting cheesed out. Photon overcharge being thrown down. There's no more photon overcharges left for this mothership core as 13 probes have fallen. Amazingly, however, Stem is still ahead in worker count by 2 workers. However, army supply in favor of our Zerg player, as a lot of lings are still being run into this base. Drop Lord not having any more lings loaded up, so this is forward aggression at this point. Another warp in here to help deal with these Zerglings before they get surrounded. Them bringing down the Big Daddy Immortal, going to be able to clean this up finally, as a few more lings are going to make their way in here towards the main. Not really get much else done. Looks like McAttack is just trying to kill him off. Like, he feels he's got the economic damage done. He's just trying to kill off Stem at this point. Meanwhile, Stem is kind of worried here. Like, he's trying to defend on 2 fronts. He's got a lot of his army back up there in his main for 2 barreled Zerglings. Surprised I missed the barrel. And there is a Hydra or layer on the way. But stage 2 of the tech for Zerg is going to be allowed or be able to get here or be gotten or reached. The pause coming out. A little bit of lag apparently. As ref unpaused, we will continue. These Zerglings are going to surround these Zealots here as they are trying to actually just clean up these warpins as they come in. No overcharge just yet for this mothership core as these probes are trying to tuck into the corner so they can't really be surrounded here. These Zerglings are getting cleaned up. 8 more workers have fallen, and McAttack has finally taken the lead in worker count. As he will finally be able to push this away. He does clean up the main with the 2 Zerglings that were in that base. However, 18 more lings are going to be made for McAttack. He does have the 3rd base up, which means he can drone up on this 3rd base. Actually being rallied into his main. And it looks like Stem has finally said enough's enough. We gotta make a push. We gotta make something happen. And with only Zerglings on the map, this could actually happen very easily for Say No to Stem that he could take this game and bring it back in favor of Inside Gaming. He's just going to ignore these 4 Zerglings. We're going to move out on the map. There's a lot of Zerglings. It looks like we will have a bit of a base trade here, as there are only 2 Adepts back here to defend this push coming out with these Zerglings. Stem trying to get his army together in the middle of the map. There's a Stalker here trying to focus down his Overlord, and so I think Stem just kind of lost as to which way to go. Okay, now he's bringing his army out. This Burrowling here, however, going to see this. Trying to rally up his army and get it all together as he's going to make his push across the map. There's a Warp Prism here, so he will be able to reinforce with this army. As this is about the Elucidated Colossi coming out. It's actually very intriguing because he does have a Warp Prism here, which means he could have brought it over with a Warp Prism. He's going to make his way up this ramp and make his way towards the natural of the Zerg player. Zerglings are working on these rocks. He's going to see this Colossi, the Colossus, to think, oh god, there's a Colossus in the mix. Hopefully he realizes this is hallucinated and not going to freak out about it too much. There's actually a Swarm Host in the mix. 3 Swarm Hosts have been made here. Where's the rest of Stem's army? Looks like he was caught trying to come across the map. Stem warping it as much as he can here. Swarm Hosts have used their Swarm Locusts, or the Locusts have been used. There's a little bit of a Warp Prism micro is happening with this Immortal. These Swarm Hosts are going to get cleaned up. Stem might actually making this happen. He is going to be able to push in here. He's going to be able to knock down the natural of the Zerg player, so that layer will go down. And that's stage 2 tech being taken out here as 4 more Swarm Hosts and 14 more Lings are going to be made. Stem is continuing to reinforce with this Warp Prism. He's not taking a 3rd base, which means he is very much all in on this. These Adepts here coming back down to regroup with this army. Very battered and bruised army, however, as he is just continuing to warp in more and more units, and those Swarm Hosts is going to get picked off. It's surprised he didn't finish out with Swarm Hosts. His Locusts are going to get called down. He's just microing these Immortals as much as he can, trying not to let these Swarm Hosts get any more of these Locusts down. He's blocking them off with Zealots, actually, but here's the thing, these Swarm Hosts are going to have to go on cooldown for a little bit and wait for that army to come back around. As another warp-in does happen, these Locusts are going to time out as the Immortal is just being microed for dear life. One Immortal is actually back up to full shields here from just the sheer micro. It isn't enough, however. Like, the next round of Locusts are about to pop, as a couple more Lings are going to come out here. But at the same time as this warp-in, he is going to burrow these Swarm Hosts, so they're not going to be able to be spotted as there is no Observer with this army. And if only you could Photon Overcharge a Warp Prism. I mean, that would just help him out so much right now. But in the next round, a Locust has gone down. He is going to pick up these Immortals, drop them. And he's just going to keep microing these Immortals. As long as he can keep these Immortals alive, this push is not dead. Picks up both of them yet again. Another Warp End going down as he's going to... The last of these Locusts are going to die out. These 2 Immortals are going to get dropped back in here on top of these Lings. He's trying to find as much damage as he can. He's killed off 4 drones. And there's nothing on the other side of the map. Finally, he unburrows his Zergling over here and is trying to scare Stim a little bit to come back. But I think Stim realizes it is just 1 Ling. There's not too much of a Warp In going down on the other side of the map. He's warping in again here on top of his Warp Prism, trying to make this happen. I think Mac Attack is slowly starting to see that this might actually be it. As he's literally down to 2 Swarm Hosts, or a few Swarm Hosts left here to finish this. He's Warp Prism will pick up this Immortal once again. A recall back home will happen, and GG is called by Mac Attack. It still will keep the series alive, tying it at 3-3. Some insane Immortal micro there going on with that Warp Prism just to keep him alive and keep him in the game. Well played by Say No to Stim, as we will move into our 4th game. Or possibly last game of the series. Alright guys, as we load into our last and final game. Yes, Gio, I understand that, bro. I know. I'm sorry I missed it. Anyway, spawning into the bottom right-hand corner is the yellow Protoss pieces of Say No to Stim. Spawning into the top left-hand corner is the pink Zerg pieces from 1F Pro. It is Flood. This is match point for both sides, as we will see who will come out on top on Dead Man's Bridge. It is a 4-player map. Maps that aren't really seen in a ladder this season. Kind of different things. Looks like a giant Akalon waste, as Stim says there. Both players, he is pretty much right. This does look like a giant Akalon waste, as he is going to send his probe up to scout top right. See exactly what is could be up here in this corner. And it is cross spawns for Zerg, which is a big deal for Zerg to have. It means they have a little bit more time on the map to expand, get their tech up and ready to go. As this Overlord is actually just going to scout down. The other one's just going to scout across to the right here. Take a look around. We can find. Hatchery is on the way down, however, for Flood. Stim not quite throwing down an extra just yet. He is probably going to do another gateway expand. That's what it's looking like. Spawning pool is on the way. Very standard hatch gas pool opening yet again for Zerg. Nothing too crazy happening yet. The only really big thing this series has been a mech play from Atomic Father. It was really different. Other than that, the first game of the series actually was a bit of a cheese in terms of hiding some tech near his base, or Sim's base. Third base is only going to be thrown down, so it looks like we will have a bit more of a greedy opening here for Flood, as the Nexus will be thrown down for Stim, as well as the cybernetic score. Only one gas for Stim so far. Not taking that second gas quite yet. Overlord, we're going to fill it up here. At this point in time, due to the position of the naturals and 4-player maps, you should be able to figure out that if it's not bottom or if it's not top, then it's definitely going to be a cross spawns. Then does see his third base. He does know he's up against a 3-base Zerg, which is a bit more greedy. And he's keeping this probe here. Looks like he might throw down a pylon. Don't know quite just yet, so it looks like he might go all in on this. Warp gate is on the way. One queen on the way, a second queen on the way, and speed is on the way. Back home, a militia core is being built in the natural. Trying to keep where he has it here, ready to defend any kind of aggression. Overlord finally going to make its way south. By now, he should just realize that it is a cross map spawn for both sides. Probe is still sitting here, not really doing much of anything. Warlings are going to make their way across the map. He doesn't. I wonder if he saw that probe actually. I don't think he saw that probe. The game may have saw it, but he may not have. There are actually 8 Warlings on the way and an Evo chamber on the way. It looks like we might actually see a lift play yet again for our lovely Zerg player here. Probe is finally going to get cleaned up here. The Stim is aware that there is a push making its way across the map. It looks like it will be trying to hit at 2 different angles, maybe. +1 melee is on the way, so it will not be a drop play at all. He looks like he is just going to come up here and try and break the front of Say No to Stim. Stim already holding off one very cheeky Zerg. Should be able to hold off this Zerg as well. As the warp gates are going to finish up here, he has thrown down 2 photon overcharges, 1 photon overcharge so far. A warp pin here of 3 centuries to push us away. Get the force fields down to make sure he can lock in as well as zone out any Zerglings. Fellowship Core are going to come down here and start pushing away these Zerglings even further as he's trying to shave off what he can. There is a drop lord coming in. Okay, we'll be trying to drop up in here and push on both sides. And I think Stim is caught onto this. There is a stalker in position to push us away there. Or is it but the ruse? Drop lord being morphed in to kind of give Stim a bit of a scare. Get up, there we go. 8 lings have been loaded up. There is a stalker here to push us away. And as Flood sees this stalker, he is just going to rotate down a little bit and try to get this drop in. Get it down and see what, try and get some damage done. Roach Warren on the way for Flood, however. Means he is going to make some aggression with that Roach Ravager play happen. Flood taking this Overlord all the way down to the bottom part of this map. Is finally going to bring it in. I wonder if Stim can see this Overlord coming down here. The pathing of the Stalker may not be able to see that. Looks like he is going to move out on the map with a Knight. This is a very big push coming out here. There are 8 Lings in that Overlord, however, sitting down there in the corner. As he will make his way across the map with this. 5 Roaches are on the way, however. So in terms of positioning, I kind of like Flood's positioning right now. He does have a lot of Lings here to help defend this push. 12 more are on the way as the Roaches will finish up. And these Lings do have +1 melee, by the way. There are no upgrades out for Stim. However, if Stim can simply just overwhelm and get the force fields down, he might actually be able to break our Zerg friend. As the 8 Lings are going to get dropped in here. 9 probes are going to get killed off. As the Ravager and 28 more Lings are on the way. Stim bringing some adepts back to help clean up these Zerglings. Is going to make his push in onto this third base over here. Hallucinated Immortals are out. They changed it up a little bit. There's no Robo behind this. These Immortals are actually very fake. He's not here going to micro these Immortals at all. He is actually just going to let Hallucinations die as his army is going to get surrounded. Monster Core not dying just yet. There's not enough energy here to recall anyway. So unless he brings his Monster Core home or moves it, this is going to die. Funny part is he actually lost that Mothership Core very similar fashion in a match last week. Just kind of let it die out. Anyway, Zerg going to make his counterattack across the map as 24 more Lings and another Ravager are on the way. Stim warping in 4 Zealots here to try and wall this off so he can't get in. Again, there's no Mothership Core here to defend this. Stim might actually realize that this might be too little too late in terms of a hold. He's going to micro these units and GG well played will be called from Say No to Stim. That is going to be it. 1F Pro will take this win 4-3 over Insight Gaming. I really don't have any too fancy screens here for you guys to look at. But with that, 1F Pro will take the win over Insight Gaming 4-3. And with that, guys, I might just going to shut it down. Pretty quick stream tonight. There's only 4 players in. GG's indeed. Of course, we reported the final score of the night is 4-3, as you stated. Guys, if you liked what you saw, please hit that follow button. Insight Gaming will be around a lot nowadays to, play these league matches, play as many clan matches as they can. If you guys feel like playing Insight Gaming in a friendly clan war, please let myself or Sailor Stim know, and we will get you set up as soon as we can. And with that, guys, I'm going to call it a night and say enjoy your Friday night, enjoy your weekend, and I will catch you guys later.